In today's episode, I'm going to show you something truly fascinating. We'll take a close look at the world of aphids under a microscope and see what these tiny insects look like up close. But that's not all. We'll also examine their natural enemies, ladybugs and lacewings. You'll get to see both the pests and their predators. Aphids are tiny insects that can cause a lot of trouble. They range in size from fractions of a millimeter to a few millimeters and come in a variety of colors, from light green to almost black. The most common ones are black aphids with a characteristic woolly coating. Their names usually come from the plants they inhabit, feeding on the sap of young shoots and leaves. There are about 3,000 species of aphids worldwide. Under favorable conditions, they can appear in enormous numbers. In a single year, they may produce up to 8 generations. As a result, their populations can grow rapidly, and the damage they cause can be severe. On top of that, aphids also transmit viral plant diseases. When aphids feed on leaves or needles, they process large amounts of sap. Because sap contains little protein, aphids must drink it in excess, excreting the surplus sugars as tiny droplets. This sticky substance is what causes the so-called honeydew rain under trees infested with aphids. If you've ever parked your car under a maple tree and come back to find the windows covered in a sticky film, that's aphids at work. But as is often the case in nature, one species' plague is another species' feast. Ladybugs love aphids and devour them one after another. Ladybug larvae hunt aphids too, as well as other small plant-eating insects. Ants, on the other hand, drink the sweet liquid straight from aphids' abdomens. To speed up its secretion, they stroke the aphids with their antennae, and in return they protect them, almost like herding their own livestock. This is an extraordinary example of interspecies cooperation. Aphid honeydew also serves as food for fungi, bacteria, and even honeybees, which turn it into the dark, highly valued forest honey, known as honeydew honey. But the true nightmare of aphids is the lacewing. Adult lacewings look delicate, greenish insects with golden eyes and net-like wings. Their larvae, however, are ruthless predators, capable of devouring dozens of aphids each day. It's no coincidence that in English they're sometimes called aphid lions. Thanks to their voracious appetite, lacewing larvae are used in gardening today as a natural way to control aphids. All you need to do is buy a small bottle of lacewing larvae, release them onto your plants, and they'll do the rest. The world of aphids and their natural enemies shows just how intricate and full of surprises nature can be. Insects that pose the greatest threat to plants turn out to be essential to the ecosystem, becoming food for other organisms. Even their waste products can be a valuable resource. Nature never ceases to amaze.